Hello everyone, I'm Beryllium7 and I am here to teach you about enumerated types in C++. Now, what on earth is an enumerated type? I know that sounds crazy, complicated, weird, nerdy, crazy, but it's actually a very simple thing. Now, we already have a couple of variables, int and char. Very boring, very boring. We also have, no, these two are the ones that I've taught you about. We also have double. I've taught you about string. I haven't taught you about load, or long. These are all variables that are built into C++. And they basically can hold a limited amount of things. Numbers, different numbers, strings of text, or just a single character when you get really boring. Oh, yes, and there's also bool. That's an important one. But those are, well, variables are all too boring for us. We're going to be using enumerated types, which means, basically, we are going to be creating our own variables. Now, that sounds really fun, and it's actually very simple. I'm going to start by saying enum stands for enumerated, and then I'm going to be making a new thing. Let's call it terminator. Now, what we have here is we are declaring our own type terminator. Now, terminator is going to be basically a variable. Why are we putting parentheses here? Well, so we can declare the different types of terminator. First, we're going to be saying T800, T888. Ah, yes, let's not forget the commas. Commas are important. T600, T1000, T700, and TX, one of my favorites. Now, here we have a few different types like so, but what do they all mean? Well, what this basically means, these basically represent the limited amounts of the limited amount of things we can make our new variable terminator equal to. Now, terminator in itself is not a variable. No, it's not a variable. It is a type of variable. So we can't say terminator equals 0. Well, terminator equals tx, because that's against the rules. No, what we have to put is we have to put terminator, and then we declare a new terminator. We'll call it Cromarty. Cromarty, he's awesome. You know what? We'll call him Arnold. Yeah, you all know who Arnold is. Okay, anyways, we have a new terminator called Arnold. Now, what we can do is we can treat Arnold as a variable. We can display Arnold. We cannot do math with Arnold, because that's just stupid. But we can make Arnold equal to something. We can say Arnold equals T800. And now we'll try this out. And look at this. 0. Isn't that sweet? Wait, why did it say 0? Well, it's because enumerated types really are kind of special. Each of these things represents a number. This represents 0, this represents 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. Now, why do these represent numbers? Well, it's one of the glories of enumerated types, or it's one of the disadvantages of enumerated types if you think of it that way. I think of it as glories because I am an optimist. Thank you. Now, enumerated types basically are things that are numbers. Each of these different things, the variable could be, in this case Arnold, represent numbers. This represents 1, so if you display it, it will display 1. Now, Why? Why would it do that? Why would it make those equal to numbers? Well, it's actually because it can come very much in handy later on. For instance, we can give them our own numbers. And we can use our own numbers in these enumerated types. I don't know, I'm just giving them crazy numbers. But remember, if you just make the first one 100, and it will now display 100, but it will make this equal to 101, 102, 103, and so on. I'll demonstrate this right now. See, it displayed 100. Now I know right now that looks like it could be just as easy as making Arnold an integer and making it equal to 100, then displaying it. But this can be really fun because, hey, it's your own variable. You can make an array of these, of Arnolds. You can make a whole lot of Arnolds. You can make a big array of Arnolds. You can make a small array of Arnolds. But you can make an array of Arnolds because technically terminators are a type of variable. You can, well, if you use pointers, which I will never teach you about, I'm afraid. If you use pointers, then you can delete Arnold. You can, well, that's actually all you can do with Arnold. But you can have a lot of fun with Arnold. You can put them in if statements, which might be pretty convenient, because if you're going to make a calculator, you might just be wanting, instead of using strings, to be using your own enumerated types. Maybe making a new enumerated type called operator. X. Just call it operator X. And you can put plus, just a comma, okay, we can put minus, and so on. And you can make a bunch of different operators. You can put them in if statements, and it makes your program a whole lot easier. So, I guess what I just did is made your life a lot easier by allowing you to make your own variables. Thank you, I ask for no reward. So practice up with that, it might become useful. Live long and prosper, and thank you.